Hey guys, I'm back again with another video on my coin collections. This time I'm going to talk about my Lincoln Cents collection, which I actually recently, I haven't really been working on too much, but recently I had a huge boost of wanting to complete this series and get done essentially. So I actually, in my opinion, completed this within its full capacity that I plan on doing for now. And yes, my don't pay attention, my nails are purple, so I'm not going to get into that. So, I now have every coin in this series with the exception of the 1909 SVDB, the 22 plain, which I'm not planning to purchase this coin anyways. And I don't have the 1970S small date yet. I will purchase that at some point, but in the time being, this is about as complete as it's going to get. So I'm going to go through this a little bit, as I'm pretty proud of it. This took a lot of time and money, so let's get into it. Sorry, this focusing kind of sucks. I'm using a different camera. This is my main camera, but it doesn't. Our main phone, I'm sorry, doesn't really have the best quality compared to my S23. Yeah, this collection, like I said, cost me a lot of money and time. And here was the final coin that I recently got. I don't know if you can see it or not. The focusing sucks on this. Damn. Yeah, this is the 1914D. I recently got this and it was slabbed. I actually cracked it out of its slab. So, and ironically enough, this is the most expensive Lincoln Cent I've bought so far. I got this from eBay, and this cost me around $220, and that was, as far as I'm concerned, on the cheaper side of things. It was graded and slabbed. I don't have the slab marks or anything like that in here yet, so. Some people like to save those kind of for like authenticity sake, I think. God, the focusing on this really sucks. Next time I make a video, with anything up close, I'll definitely use my other camera. So now the majority of these coins, these Lincoln wheat cents, I will not be upgrading. This costs too much money. And if I'm gonna upgrade one, which might be cheaper than others, it kind of annoys me because I don't really want to upgrade just one. I'd rather upgrade all of them. So for that reason, I'm not gonna upgrade them unless it looks particularly bad. Most of the cost, to be honest as well, was on these first two pages. This is where all the semi-keys are and all the key dates are. That's the first two pages. Sorry about the glare from the light also as well. This was one of the ones that was pretty expensive as well. The three most expensive coins in this series for me were the 31S, the 09S, and also the 1914D. I think I spent around $120 on this one. I'm not sure, can't remember, somewhere in there. It would be nice, like I said, theoretically, to have some other nice upgraded coins in the series, but that I'm tired of not wasting money, but putting money towards the series. I've probably spent like at least $1,000+ on this series, so I have to fix that later. This shit annoys me. Yeah. So this is the third page, and this is the last page of the wheat cents. This is one page in particular, honestly, where it probably wouldn't really cost too much to upgrade a lot of these to BU, because you see they're not BU, so some of them are, but the others aren't. But I just haven't gotten around to it. Excuse me, or anything like that. So. Now starts the memorial cents, and I actually really like this page here, with the exception of this not being the 1970s small date. These are both large dates. The only difference is one of them is a proof, and one of them is a business strike. And I did that for a little variation between them, since I don't have the actual small date. I'm planning on eventually. I'm just trying to find the right one for the right price. And more specifically, excuse me, more specifically, because the only difference between this date, or these coins, and the small date is obviously the little, yada yada yada, and the S and the date. That's it. So it's not like I have anything inherently different that I'm missing, or crazy different than I'm missing, so that's why I'm kind of just taking my time with it. Whereas like some of these other coins, I was legitimately missing, like the 1914D, which I didn't get until now. I could really honestly go either way and just not even bother with the small date, but I don't know, for collector's sake, I kind of want it. Alright, so up here, now I actually opted for, this is actually a proof right here. This 1959 Philadelphia. I do actually have the regular business strike right here. So I have the business strike and the proof. Obviously, Dansco does proof only issues. So for the earlier issues, you either had to put them in a blank page, or at the end of the album if they have empty ports, or choose between one or the other. So, and I opted to put this one here. Excuse me. And I actually believe that these ones here is another one of those scenarios. I think both of these here are the SMS coins. This might be too, but these ones look pretty noticeable in the fact of how shiny they are. And I didn't bother with, getting the SMS coins and then the business strike coins. I don't really care that much, honestly. I don't have to have every single exact coin like that. As long as I have the spots filled with something, that's mostly what I'm good with. This might be my favorite particular page in this series, mostly because all the coins are beautiful and either uncirculated or proof. So it's a really shiny looking page, as you can tell. I do have a few proofs in here as compared to the business strike ones. Like, say for example, I had some really pretty messed up looking business strikes originally, or grody looking business strikes, and I said, you know what, if I'm gonna upgrade, and I can do either one and just throw a proof in here. So that's what I did. Like in this 71S, this is a proof. Now the 72S is not a proof. This is just a business strike. This 73S is also not a proof. Now this is the actual page where the proof only issues at start. So 1974S was the last year the San Francisco produced both a business strike S and a proof S. They actually started producing, at least for Lincoln Cents, well, honestly, probably for most of the coins as well. But starting here in 75 is where they started producing proof only basically issues, and that's what Dansco basically always does. So like you're not gonna find a 75S business strike, whereas if you look over here with the 74, is that 74? Yeah. If you look over here at the 74, you could find both a proof S 74 coin, and you can find a 74S business strike. And like I said, it's up to you which you want to put in here. Some people put both. They'll put this one here, they'll put the business strike, and then maybe they'll put a proof in a separate spot in the end of the page, or the end of the album. I've opted not to do that. So it's also kind of interesting the amount of variance in the proofs in Lincoln Cents. It's also kind of annoying because if you want to try to match stuff like completely, excuse me, yeah, it's kind of difficult. Like, say for example, now look at how this proof looks, okay? Then look at this one. Look at the variance in color and tone. I want to say this is more a little bit toned or oxygenated or whatever you'd like to call it. Now, I have not noticed, excuse me, this kind of issue with like other non-copper-ish coins. Like, I haven't really noticed that too much with like my Jefferson nickels or my Roosevelt dimes. Now this coin is one I plan on replacing eventually. So I got this from eBay recently in a mass order of stuff. These are basically some of the last proofs I needed. Well, you can't really see it because I can't focus for shit on this camera, but you can kind of see a little bit. It's a pretty disgusting looking coin, and I was actually going to return it, like send it back completely or whatever, but the seller on eBay was like, whatever, you know, just keep the coin, we'll refund you your money, don't bother. So okay, whatever, I'll throw it in here for now, since it's not costing me anything technically, and then I'll just I'll find a nicer one later on. Was this, yeah. This Type 2S for 79 actually looks quite a bit nicer. It did cost a little bit more money too. For whatever reason, the Type 2 for both the 79 and the 81 are more expensive. Maybe because they're the more desirable coins. Ugh, excuse me, I'm not sure. And this is another thing that kind of annoys the piss out of me about Dansco albums. They don't, I think there's only one or two albums that they do this with, but they do not put the 81S Type 2 proofs, for whatever reason, in their fucking albums. I don't know why, but it really drives me bonkers, because if you want to have the technically historical, complete, whatever, you have to put it somewhere else. The only one that they end up putting it in is the Susan B. Anthony Dollar collection, and I'm guessing that's probably because the collection itself is already quite small, so to leave that out would be kind of silly. Whereas this, there's already 9 pages worth of albums, so not putting this one in here prior to them is like, who cares? So I do not have the 1981 Type 2 S proof, and I would like to maybe potentially get it eventually, but I'll get into more of that when I get to the last page. And then you got all your 1982 varieties. These are some coins that I opted to not get out of circulation. Okay, I just straight up bought a whole collection of these instead of trying to figure out which one's which. I said to hell with that, and I just straight up bought them all. So, in a whole one round type thing. But yeah, I'm really proud of this collection, though. It's definitely up there in my favorite coin experiences that I've had. Collection or experiences with coin collecting. This is definitely like my top 3 coin sets in terms of my favorites. I would like to upgrade a lot of these memorial cents to BU when I can, or UNC, or whatever you'd like to call it, because some of them are kind of grimy looking. I got them from bankrolls, and it really wouldn't cost too much to upgrade all these to BU. It'd probably look pretty nice. Now we're going on to the last page. As you can see, this is kind of a special page. It has all the commemorative cents on it. So I'll explain this a little bit. So these were a few of the other coins that I got from the same seller on eBay that I was initially going to return, but like I said, they told me to just keep the coins and not worry about it. Because they're kind of, this one is kind of hideous looking. It has this horrible, ugly ass toning to it, as well as this one. And I may replace these two eventually down the road. I don't know. For now, I'm not going to worry about it. They're doing their job. They're filling the hole in the album, that is. Yeah, these are all the 2008 and then the 2009 commemorative coins, which are always pretty cool in my opinion. I got all the standard business strike ones and then all the proof ones, given all my proofs that I've had recently. Then one of my friends on a coin website was actually nice enough to send me all these 2009 satin finish coins. So I thought that was pretty cool. They do look pretty nice. Yeah, so it fills out the even. the album pretty evenly here, because originally, you know, it just kind of stops right here, and then you have all these empty spots. I don't really necessarily have to have anything in here, though. I don't really care about that. I wanted to just straight up what the album requires mostly. But yeah, I think these satin finish Lincoln Scents were a nice little touch. The ones from 2009. They do have some other satin finish Lincoln Scents. I can't remember when they initially started making them. I want to say it was like 2005 or something like that. But yeah, I'm not going to bother with any other one of these, any of the other satin finish scents, mostly because I view the 2009 like year as kind of a special year for the commemorative year. So that's why I feel like it's kind of cool to have all these. But that's really about it. I don't really want to go through all the whole crap of buying all of the other ones and putting them down here. And for the same reason, I'm not going to add every single proof and business strike that I can fit in here and add them down here. I'm going to leave it as is. I don't really care that much. Don't have to have every single one. So, that being said, I'm coming back around to the point of the 1981 Type 2 S proof. So yes, I do have extra slots in here, but what I was thinking about doing was getting that in a nice slabbed coin, and just keeping it in there and rocking with it like that. I thought that would be pretty cool. And I thought about that as well for the 1970S small date. Could have a little collection of slab coins, and just keep them right in there. So that way I could just kind of keep everything here as is. Because to be honest, I like it the way it is. I don't really want to mess with this. So some of these other coins that I took out of the slabs, I don't really feel too bad about, because it's not like they're a proof or they're uncirculated or anything. You know, I took this 14D out of the slab. I took the 09S out of the slab, and then the 31S out of its slab. And I feel like I said, it doesn't really matter in that regard with those, because they're not proof or uncirculated. So yeah, that is my Lincoln Scent collection. I think that's going to do it for now. Everybody, let me know what you think, if you have any comments or suggestions, and all that jazz. Alright, peace out.